Jeremiah, my brothers and sisters. Here there are some clips from the Lucknow to UK satsang where we talk about that Shakti, Maa Shakti, that Maa power, who's come in the form of Sri Maa Shakti. So I hope you enjoy.
I think very few of us can say that when we look back at our lives, that we feel better, that we feel more content. And the answer is Ma. That Ma Journey is the calling. Ma is the Shakti that we have to call to. Because without Ma, nothing makes sense. Here at this time, that Ma Jaganti has come in the form of Sri Maa Shakti. That Ma Shakti has taken the form of a guru, a perfect master, at this time to guide us further. Because the need for a guru has always been the case. Sat na hoye jagat mein jal jaye sansar. That the world would burn away if there wasn't sants, that when there weren't spiritually enlightened people to guide mankind. Such people have always been needed. And Ma is taking on the burden of this whole Srishti. Ma has taken the burden of taking all of us, all of her children, back to the light. When any Mahapurush came, any great saint came, either it be Jesus Christ, be Mahatma Buddha, be Sant Kabir Das, Guru Nanak, anybody, Lari Maharaj, whoever, all of them, when they came with a very set mission, a very small scope. But Maharashtra Shamaji has come upon a mission for the saviour of all of us, for each of us, to take us back towards the path of bhakti, path of true bhakti. I received Brahm Gyan, divine knowledge, at the age of 11 from Sri Ashutosh Maharaj. For 20 years I have had this knowledge, I have meditated, I have gone to satsang. But it was only when I came into the abode of Sri Maa Shakti did I understand what this Brahm Gyan was. Only when I came into the abode of Sri Maa Shakti did I understand what true bhakti was, what true love was. Because my friends, when we think about the love that we have for our birth mother, when we think about the love that we have for the mother that brings us into this world, that's only a shadow, that's only a drop of the vast ocean of love that the Divine Mother has for us. It's only a drop of the divine love that the Mother has for us and we have for her. When I came here, I experienced that love. It's that love that guides us. It's that love that makes bhakti. Without love, there is no bhakti. Without love, there is no guru. There is no worship. There's no salvation. Everything relies on bhakti. Everything relies on love, on prem. But to learn to love, we first have to need a guru to guide us there as well. Because we've forgotten what love is. We think worldly love is love. We think the love between a husband and a wife is love. We think the love between a father and a son is love. There's a worldly love, there's a limited love, there's a love of karam sanskar. But the love of the Atma, the love of the soul, that has no bondage, the love that has no contract, that love is the love that is only given by Sri Maa Shakti, only given by the Divine Mother. And that love that Maa Shakti gives, that love breaks all boundaries. That love is what freed me from my ignorance, my worldly existence, and took me on this path of sannyas. It is Maa Shakti's love that has changed the lives of so many people. Master Swamiji has worked on the Nirman, on the production, on the creation of true sannyasis, of those who can lead this Navayug, those who in themselves first change themselves, first clean themselves so they can then guide others. Master Swamiji is creating those kind of sannyasis, those kinds of bhakts, those kind of devotees. Master Swamiji has been working painstakingly. She has spent these last 10, 11 years on trained sannyasis, saving this Srishti, guiding her divine Atma back towards her. Because it's Sri Master Swamiji who can. Only Sri Master Swamiji can guide us back to our path. This is explained quite beautifully by Ashutosh Maiji. Sri Ashutosh Maiji, in his bhajan, calls to that Divine Mother, guides mankind that we need that Mother, that life has become lost, confused, that now is the time for that Divine Mother to come and to guide us. So, I will now play a little bhajan for you guys. A bhajan written for Sri Master Swamiji by Ashutosh Maiji. And in this bhajan, Master Swamiji is explained, is taught is that she is the one who's going to bring the Nirman. That she's the one who's going to bring this Navayug. That she's the one who's going to guide us back from the lost people, the lost children we are. So let's together listen to this bhajan. Ashutosh Maharaj is calling to Ma from us, calling to the Divine Mother and saying, Ma, it's only you who can save her. Only you who can take mankind from the deep pits that we are in and take us back to salvation, take us back to our spiritual roots. Maa Shakti has been called for in this bhajan. We are getting the chance. There is a line that Karogi tume par hame saath le lo. But you'll do it. Maa Shakti is all powerful. She can do it all. She does not need anybody else. But it's a cry that take us with you. Give us a chance. Sujan mor je par chalan lo padege. Sujan mor. That on the time of change, we will place our foot and it will not be moved. As Angad Dev Ji placed his foot down in front of Ravan and his whole army and said, you cannot move me. That I am Sri Ram's Bhakt, I am Sri Ram's devotee, you cannot move me, and they could not move him. In the same way, we are Sri Maa Shakti Ji's devotees, Sri Maa Shakti's Bhakts. We are her disciples. When we put our charan, when we put our feet down, nobody can move us. But what you've given to us, this human body, this life, all of this vivek, all of this Brahm Gyan that you've given us, we will put all of this in this Sri Yuga. We'll do everything that is required to bring this Navyug, this new age, the age of light. In this bhajan is a calling of a true disciple, calling to the Divine Mother to free us and saying that we will do our part. Whatever you want of us, Ma, we will do. That is the calling that Maa Shakti is answering. The Sri Maa Shakti is calling, is answering that call that is rising in each of our deep souls. Each of us needs Ma right now. Each of us needs the Divine Mother to guide us. And there's other bhajans that we will play. But before we play more bhajans, I would like to first invite my Guru Band, Saint Gabriel Didi, to share with us her divine words, her experiences with Sri Maa Shakti. Because the truth is, this path of devotion, this path of bhakti is not a path of words, it's not a path of written comments. This is a path of experiences. What we've experienced, we will share with you, so that you may be inspired, that you may be led forward to go and experience these things for yourself as well. So without any further ado, Bolo Sri Maa Shakti ki Jai, Sri Baba Shakti Maharaj ki Jai, Sri Ashutosh Bhagwan ki Jai, Sache Darbar ki Jai.
Maa Shakti ki
Jai.
Boli Panam Pujni Panam Shraddhe Sir Sri Baba Ashutosh Maharaj ki
Jai.
Boli Sir Sri Ashutosh Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Sache Darbar ki
Jai.
Welcome, brothers and sisters, to this afternoon spiritual discourse. I'd firstly like to pay my highest respects and my highest regards to the divine lotus feet of Her Holiness Maa Shakti and His Holiness Baba Ashutosh Maharaj. What Swami Haridasananda was explaining was that it's a practical experience. It's something that once you practically experience the divine audience of that Maa Shakti, of Maa Shakti, of Her Holiness Maa Shakti, it's something that is so paramount that it's hard to really express the extent of the magnitude of the divine grace of Ma. I was very lucky to receive the message that there is this Maa Shakti, there is this Maa Adi Shakti, this incarnate form of the Divine Mother, while I was in the UK, while I was in London, very much like how you guys are. And I received the message through my mother and my father, and they had told me that there is this person that is in Lucknow in India, and she's able to give divine knowledge. She's able to give Brahmagyan and show you God within yourself. I was very lucky to be in a family where everyone was a Brahmagyani, in a sense that my parents and my siblings had received Brahmagyan from Sri Ashutosh Mataji from very early on. But I hadn't received Brahmagyan. So when I had received the message that I can go to Lucknow in India and receive the divine audience of Our Holiness Maa Shakti and receive Brahmagyan, there was an instant within me. I was very lucky to be able to speak to Ma on the phone, and at that time I spoke no Hindi whatsoever. I could understand a lot of Hindi, but there is still that disparity, there is still that disconnect there. However, when Ma would speak to me on the phone, it just felt like I could understand, that for some reason, regardless of everything, regardless of the language barrier or the difference in culture, that there was an instant clarity that Ma is Ma. And when I started speaking to Her Holiness Maa Shakti, I started becoming aware that I had certain divine revelations, anubhavs, before I started speaking to her. And I would like to share some of them with you today. In one of them, Ma was sitting on her sanghasan, on this very sanghasan. And Ma was wearing a yellow sari. And Ma was incredibly happy. And Ma was handing out prasad, was handing out sweets to her audience. And I had seen this in a divine revelation when I was in the UK many years before I started speaking to Ma. And in that revelation, it became clear that Ma is Mataji. Mataji is Ma. Ma is that perfect master, that Sampurna Shakti, that Puran Shakti of this time. But at the time I had that revelation, I didn't quite understand. But I remember that I brought it up to my family and to my siblings, and I said that if Sri Ashutosh Mataji comes back in a different form, if Mataji comes back in the form of a woman or in multiple forms, would you follow? And I never really understood where that question had come from, where that had risen within me. Because as we know, God is boundless, is infinite. And because they are infinite, they can take whichever form, how many forms they would choose to and they would like to. So that concept was clear. However, I didn't understand where this question arose until I started speaking to Ma. But even then, I had clarity that Ma was Ma, but there was still something within me. There was still a little bit of doubt. Then what ended up happening is I had another divine revelation while I was in the UK. And in that revelation, I was in an ashram in Punjab. And everyone, all of my family, and there were others there, they were all sitting in front of Ma and Babaji and Mataji Sanghasan. Very much like the Sanghasans here. And Ma was in a red sari and Ma was sitting in the middle Sanghasan. And everyone, all of my family went and they bowed down and they paid their respects into the divine lotus feet of Ma Shakti. But I was stubborn. I said, well, no, I will only bow down to my Guru, to my perfect master, to Ashutosh Mataji. in that moment, once I said that, Sri Ashutosh Manaji had walked from behind me, all the way round, sat in the Singhasan next to Ma. And Manaji was very clear that Ma is your guru, you will bow down and you will pay your respects to her. Then in that instant, I did. And from that divine revelation, everything became clear that Ma is Ma. But the thing is that Sri Ashutosh Manaji had made it very clear on the criteria of what makes a perfect master, what makes a good Sadguru. And that criteria was, that Kusati was, that a perfect master, a Param Guru, can show you God within yourself. Can give you Brahm Gyan, divine awakening, Atma Jagrati. There's a range of different things, but they can give you Brahm Gyan. And the second criteria that Sri Ashutosh Manaji had made clear is that they can also give Gyan ki Agya. They can also give their disciples the service, the seva, to be able to give that Gyan. So there was that criteria, and when I heard that Ma was adhering to that criteria, that Ma was able to give Brahmya, but not only that, Ma also gave her disciples, her sannyasis at the time, Gyan ki Agya. It became crystal clear that Ma is that perfect truth. So from all of these revelations, from Ma creating all of these changes and awakening that clarity within me while I was in the UK, I came to a point where I realized that I can't sit in the world in a normal way. I wanted to be a part of Sri Ashutosh Manaji's, Maa Shakti's and Baba Ashutosh Maharaj's mission of world peace, of Vishwa Shanti. And that is now come to my time to start the work that I had been sent for. So I became very clear, and I remember I had spoken to His Holiness Baba Ashutosh Maharaj and said that I can't sit in this world in a normal way. I want to quit my job and I want to progress from here. I don't want to be stuck in this world in that way anymore. And Babaji had said that if Her Holiness Maa Shakti gives you guidance, would you follow it? I said yes, I will try my best. Then in that instant, then I received a call from her. And Ma had asked me what was going through me. And I'd explained that I don't want to be stuck in the illusory pleasure of the world. I want to serve that truth. I want to receive Brahm Gyan and progress on the spiritual path. And Ma Shakti said that do what you feel is best. If you want to quit your job, quit your job. But if you don't want to, you do not have to. From that moment, it became very clear that that is that woman's circle. That Ma never ever pressured me to make any sort of decision ever. Ma had always guided me to find the clarity of what was best for me, what best worked for me. So I'd come to the decision, I left my job, left everything behind, and I came to Lucknow in India. When we had first come, we were waiting for Ma's darshan. And in doing so, we were praying that we would be able to receive our audience. Because a part of us, I can say especially for me, that when you're a foreigner and you come to a place like Bali, to India, you do have a lot of ego. And I had a certain precipice, I had a certain ego that of course I would receive Ma's darshan. But from that ego, I was explaining that you need to pray. If you wanted to receive the divine audience of Our Holiness Maa Shakti, you have to pray. And that further confirmed that Ma is that perfect master is that incarnate form, the avatar form of that Maa Shakti. Because when you pray to the Almighty, right? You pray to God, Allah, Buddha, Prabhu, Brahma. So the fact that I was told and given satsang by Maa's disciples that if you pray, you could receive those. It became that really clear that when I pray, it is Her Holiness Maa Shakti that is listening to me, that is hearing my prayers and acts according to what is right for me, what is for my nirman and what is for my kalyan, what is for the betterment of my progress on the spiritual path onto reaching salvation. Hence, Maa was very well aware of the damage that this world has done to me and that I had done to myself because of the stress I was in. So when I received Her Holiness Maa Shakti's darshan, her audience, I randomly started crying. Ma looked at me with such love and such grace. And Ma had said, "Why are you crying, child?" I said, "I don't know. I don't understand this myself." Ma said, "Please come here." I'd come to this very sanghasana, and I went to bow down to Ma, and Ma said no. Ma had wrapped me up in a hug and held me. And after that, I instantly felt lighter. I instantly felt like there was so much pressure that had been lifted off me. And when I returned back to where I was sitting and I looked at Ma started crying. And I couldn't understand why. I was very worried, I was very scared that I would hurt Ma or something would happen. But at that very second, I didn't have courage. It was only later, after we received Maa's darshan, that I walked into a really dark room. And before, in this world, before I'd come to this ashram here in Lucknow, India, I was petrified of the dark. I couldn't sleep in the dark, I couldn't sit in a dark room, much to my parents' dismay by them trying to save on the electricity bill or them switching off the lights all the time. I would always have to have a light on. I couldn't stay still in a dark room at all. But after I received my darshan, when I just walked into the room that I was given here in this ashram, the room was dark and I wasn't afraid for the first time in such a long time in my life. And at that moment, I realized that when Ma had hugged me, when Ma had started crying, Ma had taken all of my fear, all of my phobia, all of my anxiety, all of my depression, all of the stress and tension that had gathered and collected in the world, that Ma had took it all upon herself and destroyed it. And only the perfect master, only that pure truth could do that. Only she could save me in such a way. So much so that from that moment, it became incredibly clear. But there was just one thing that was left. And that one thing that was left is that I needed to receive Brahmagyan. I needed to receive divine knowledge. After a few days of being here in Anand Ashram in Lucknow, I was very lucky to be given the grace of receiving Brahmagyan, receiving divine knowledge from Her Holiness Maa Shakti. And in that, when I received divine knowledge, I saw that divine light of God. In the Bible, it says that the kingdom of God is within us and that God is light. And I was very lucky that I got to see that divine light from within. And So Ma had stuck to that criteria that Satyaj Pushmanaji had said, that a perfect master, Buddha and Satguru of this time, of every time, they can give you Brahma, they can give you divine knowledge, and Ma did so. But Ma didn't only just do that. Ma had also given me sannyas, given me a new life in which that I can, by her divine grace, be a sayogi, be an associate in her divine mission. And through my practical realizations, through my practical experiences, I realized that I'm not capable of doing anything really. But by the divine grace, by the divine love, by the divine kindness and support of Her Holiness Maa Shakti, the things that I feel that are impossible have now become possible. And certain things that may seem small, really big for me. For instance, I had such crippling anxiety. Public speaking was not something I could do. Speaking to an audience of more than 3 people, I would start panicking. So much to the point that even before the speech or after, I'd end up having a very severe panic attack. I had such crippling anxiety. But now, by Her Holiness Maa Shakti's grace, I'm able to talk to you guys, even if it's on an online platform. Before I wasn't able to do things like this. But by her grace, I'm able to. By her divine grace, I can speak to audiences of hundreds, of thousands, without being scared, without being anxious, without being worried. That in each moment, in each aspect of my life, Ma has transformed me and guided me to come closer to being as they wish for me to be.
महारानी है, बनेंगे हम सब शिष्य गुरु के, माँ हमने ठानी है, गौरव गाथा नवयुग की हमें फिर से दोहरानी है, बनेंगे हम सब शिष्य गुरु के, माँ हमने ठानी है, गौरव गाथा नवयुग की, गौरव गाथा नवयुग की, गौरव गाथा नवयुग की।
Dear brothers and sisters in faith, I am here to share with you the divine grace of Maa Shakti. Because in recent times you may have been seeing all over the media that Maa Shakti has gone into Samadhi. And it has become a massive topic of conversation. And as it should be. It's raising questions, as it should. And when I speak like this, and our saints speak like this, the media, who isn't very shocked, does become very shocked and thinks, how are you turning around? I remember being on a live debate regarding this topic of the Samadhi that Maa Shakti has taken. And everyone said questions are being arisen. People are questioning your guru and people are questioning your faith in your guru. What do you have to say to that? I said it's about time. It's a good thing. Now the human is waking up and is asking the right questions. I have no issue with your doubts. You should have them. Because the path we are walking on, the path that Maa Shakti has set out for us, is the path of truth. And by truth, I mean the path of practical realization. Do you understand this? That we that sit here under the guidance of Maa Shakti, we are not expecting you to fall into line with whatever we say. We want you to critically analyze. We want you to be curious. And we want you to come out and ask these questions. Because it's about practically realizing. It's about seeing for yourself. And the most amazing miracle of Maa Shakti that I have witnessed within my life was the miracle of her divine love. The sheer amount of love and devotion that Ma has for humanity. Because the truth is, us as humanity think, what? How is this possible? What kind of concept is this? We're too stuck in the world and in our minds. But our mother, our divine mother, knows her children, knows her humanity, and knows that what they need, and know that they have fallen into the darkest and darkest of times. Today's time is known as the Iron Age, or Kal Yuga. It is known the time of being the darkest and darkest of ages, and that there is no way out. It is the darkest of all times. And if you don't want to believe me, you are realizing it within your lives. Even science has shown the amount of pain, difficulty, stresses and anxiety that an average human would feel in a course of a month about at least 20, 30 years ago. That individual feels within a day. A human body has not been created to take this much pain, but it still endures it. No wonder why we are all sick, either physically, mentally, emotionally, and most definitely spiritually. And Ma knows of this, and knows that all her children are suffering in this world. So she took it upon herself. When we talk about that divine feminine energy, we are talking about that expressive, creative energy that is within the cosmos throughout this whole universe. When we use the word Shakti, we mean energy in motion. That energy that is in motion at all times, that is within all of us, is the reason why I can speak now and you can perceive me. You can hear me. This is all Ma. This is all Ma's creative Shakti. This is Ma. But she knew her children are suffering. Just in that bhajan that you had just heard. You know, Manujata vikul hai, luti ja rahi hai. What are they saying there? Manujata vikul hai, luti ja rahi hai. Patan ki kahani yahi rok do maa. Who is praying? The earth is praying, the sky is praying, every soul in this world is praying that, Hey Ma, oh Mother, we hail to you. Please stop this story of destruction. It has come to the end now. Please save us all. This is why, even if you hear it and don't understand the words, you will find that something happens within you and makes you shake and makes you really ponder what is happening. Ma knew of our strife and our pain. So Ma set about creating perfect sannyasis. Now you've heard this term many times again, sannyasis. When you look back, you think of the times of Mahatma Buddha. That these individuals, they lived in a life of very simple living and high thinking and of high spiritual development. But Ma said, I want to take this to perfection. Why is this? So that they can go out into the world and give the world what the world needs. What does humanity need right now? They need strength. They need to realize who they are. The soul that runs this body, the soul that's within us, until we know it, until we realize it, in Hindi it's called Maa Shakti, the strength of your soul. Not until you realize it and know it, you can't stand tall against any darkness. And that's why we're suffering. The word depression, when people have broken it down, they've said it actually means a deep rest from the avatar that you've created for yourself. Because the life you are living, this is not a life of a human. This is barely a life of an animal. We are stuck in a cycle where we are not using our intellect for good, not even for our own good. Ma set about and said, I remember having a conversation with Ma and saying that, Ma, the whole world is selfish. They only think about themselves. And Ma's like, this is the most painful thing, is that they don't even think about themselves. Because if they truly were selfish, they'd want the very best for themselves. And then they'd go out and they'd seek what that best is for them. In fact, what they do is they take in all this information the world gives them. And they limit themselves. All your lives are, in this present day, is you wake up, you work. You earn money so you can eat, so you can have a roof over your head. You do it for others as well, your family and friends. And then you go to bed and you keep doing that unconsciously for 50, 60 years. And then when it comes for a time for your death, you think, I have not lived. And that is our truth. But Ma wanted, and has always wanted, every individual, every child in this world to live freely. Ma has taken this samadhi for Vishwa Kalyan. It means for the betterment of the world. Vishwa Shanti, for world peace. Time and time again, the world, many times, you've heard it in beauty pageants, they always say, what is your greatest desire? What do you want? They say world peace. But who has truly taken any action to ensure that there is peace in the world? Mahatma Gandhi had said this, if you want to be the change you want to see in this world. That you have to do it yourself. You have to be that change. And that is exactly the paddhati or the development of, or the standard that Ma has taken us on. So you may have heard of the 8 limbs of yoga to get to the highest point of samadhi. Samadhi means to be completely immersed with that supreme consciousness, the higher intellect, with the universe, with the cosmos itself, and to be operating from a very high vibrational energy. Ma wants this for all of us. Now don't be afraid. It's not the samadhi that Ma has taken. Ma has taken a nirbij samadhi, because while Ma, before she went into samadhi, she worked day in, day out to solve the problems of the universe that had happened right in the beginning. Now is in samadhi to ensure that as the earth moves forward, as we move forward, we don't create any more negativity. We don't create any more karma that will destroy us all. And this concept might sound foreign and far-fetched, but only those that have practically realized through Brahm Gyan the divinity of Maa Shakti, they will sit and they will experience it. That's why time and time again we urge you, be curious, ask the questions, and move forward. So in this world, if we ever wanted to be successful, or be happy, or find peace, we have followed pop psychology all the way through. And they constantly talk about ensure that you have a good moral standing. To ensure that you keep yourself in a certain discipline. You keep yourself away from certain things that distract you from your objective. You focus fully on your objective and you work hard towards it. And you give it all you've got. These principles aren't new. These principles come from that time and time again. And these were the Paddhatis of sons. And Maa Shakti has worked day in, day out with her sadhu samaj, with her sons. Has given all of us a range of samadhis, has shown us what it means to be connected with that one supreme universe, and how to work from a stage, from a certain strength where you connect with that super consciousness. Not the low vibrational lives that we are all living in this world. We are trapped in a rat race and we do not know how to escape. Ma for us had provided a way out. And not just in this life, but so that we do not have to go through the pain of reincarnation again and again and again and again and again. Ma Samadhi. For someone, I was there when Ma took her Samadhi. I was there physically. And so many days later, so many months later, it is amazing the state that Ma's holy garb is in, still perfectly preserved in perfect form. Many people that have come to do darshan and have seen, have felt that, oh, it seems like Ma, we're having such divine revelations across the world of what's happening. There's been premonitions, there's been futures have been talked about. Many have talked about this time that there will be a supreme Shakti that will take on this Samadhi and that will bring about a new age. And that time is now, and it is happening in front of you. Here, we are not speaking to you to persuade you of anything. We are here speaking to you to inform you. Ma's divine love changed me completely. A few years ago, I was at death's door. There was no chance of my survival. My death was imminent. And at that time, when the doctors had turned around and said that this is it, this is the end, and they had told my family, I had no idea. I couldn't breathe. I wasn't there. I then had this revelation. At the time, I thought it was a dream. I saw this bright, bright light. And I saw this Devi Swaroop of someone so divine in a red sari, as I had seen according to so many scriptures. And what I found was that I could see that I was lying there in the hospital bed and that my breath, my life, my soul was leaving. And then I see this divine entity take that and push it back into my body, push my soul, my pran back into my body. I wake up with a jolt. I remember this dream and I think, oh, that was interesting. It shook me a little bit, but I didn't think much of it. I stayed in hospital for quite a few weeks. The doctors were even very surprised at how have you survived. We didn't think there was any chance. Then a few weeks later, within my home, my parents were having conversations with Maa Shakti. They were speaking to Maa. I hadn't known that there was a Maa, there was someone. Even they didn't know this was Maa. They believed this was an individual whose message they've received. And they are talking about positivity, about spirituality, about divine knowledge. We must gain from it is positive. Then Maa asked to speak to me. And when I spoke to Maa, it was as if there are certain things that you all know that you can only speak about to yourself. Only you and your internal God knows what is happening. And I had this urge to share this with Maa, to speak to her about it, knowing that she would understand. And in part I did. Anything during that conversation I would think, oh, this is what I want to ask. I haven't even spoken it yet. Maa would start answering those questions. And I was shook. I was like, what is happening here? Then as time went on, it came for the time of Guru Puja. And my worldly mother, she had put the Swarup of Maa Shakti in the mandir, ready to go. And I saw this Swarup, and all of a sudden, I had goosebumps. My heart rate was really high. I didn't know what to think. I was so shocked. And my mother asked, what's happened? What is it? And I was like, the one, that divine entity that had saved me, who had saved my life. That's her, that's Maa Shakti. The one whose Swarup you've put in front of me, that's her. I'm like, who is this? It's like, this is Maa, this is the one you have been speaking to this whole time. Now tell me, Maa first saved my life, then she came into my life. She came into my conscious awareness, she came practically into my life. Why? There was no need for that. Everything that Maa has done has been a selfless service to humanity. This Samadhi is a selfless service to save us all. There is no one in this time that could do this, that is capable. And she did it to save us all. You may ask, why leave everything? Why come into sannyas? Why such devotion? Because Maa gave us the path of truth. But you know what Maa requires of us? You must think, oh, there must be a give and take. If she has given you so much, there must be something that you're required to do. We are required to better ourselves for ourselves. We are encouraged to understand our own strengths. We are encouraged to become stronger within ourselves. We are shown the way, practical way, through that divinity to join in with that supreme consciousness, to connect with it time and time, so we become conscious of the mistakes that we're making, of the cycles that we're repeating, so we can break them all. And that we can live a life that is full of light and joy and peace. Our requirement is to find peace within ourselves. How is that of any benefit to Maa? It is none. It is a selfless service that she is providing for all humanity, so that we can go back to where we were meant to be. We were meant to be that crown of creation, that meant to be completely immersed in the divine. So we live a life of divinity. A life of divinity doesn't mean to do some kind of puja and then just bow down for a little bit and go through some exercises. No. It means to change yourself so that you find that supreme joy. So not only do you help yourself and solve yourself in this life, it's just that at the end of it, you are free from this cycle of reincarnation. There's a story of a king, which I may have told many and many times ago, but it still falls into the remit of what we are required to do, what us as the children of that Divine Mother are required to do. If we want to be happy, if we want to be free, how can you not be indebted to someone who has freed you from the most terrifying thing of all, and that is death, and that is the uncertainty of what comes after death? To make it certain in your life that you will connect with that supreme consciousness now, I will take you to that point, and then as you leave this body, you will become one with that. So you're already one with that supreme consciousness, you will join there. There will be none of this running around and falling into this cycle of reincarnation. This is what we call kripa, this is what we call grace, and Ma has showered it upon us. So there was a kingdom where a king was appointed, was anointed for a year. At the end of that year, he was taken to the jungle, and all the wild animals and the conditions there would kill the king. And this continued on and on and on. Now a time came where a king was anointed, was sat on his throne, and his ministers had talked about this rule. This is what will happen. This kingdom is yours for a year. Govern it as you will. Enjoy it. But after a year, you will be taken away from it, and this is what will happen. You'll be let out in the jungle. If the wild animals kill you and eat you, which they inevitably will, but if you somehow survive them, then the conditions will kill you either way. That you will enjoy this for a year, but imminent death is waiting for you. Now the king asked, is there no solution? Is there no way of solving this? Can I not be free? The minister said, we are sorry, we cannot help you. This is the rule and we must follow it. There is no way out. After time, he goes to a saint. He had heard about a saint who spoke about divine knowledge, about Brahmgyan, that frees you from the cycle of birth and death. And he goes, if I am coming to my imminent death, then maybe this individual can help me. Now what this saint does is he gives him satsang. Satsang means is he makes him become one with the truth. That one God can be seen, but also that you as a human, you as the child of God, need to become one with the Lord. And in order to do that, you will be given this Brahmgyan through the grace of a guru. As you follow that path, you will separate your spirit from your body. You will understand you are that soul, and you will live on an eternal life. So now, as he's doing this, he's following this path. What he starts doing is he starts having that jungle cut down, starts having the conditions improved. He starts putting together a colony, a city, a palace. He sends over people to live there, starts sending over all sorts of every kind of things that he needs and that anyone in his kingdom there would need. He creates a brand new kingdom. At the same time, he follows his duty as king where he is presently. He does not abandon those duties. He does that faithfully through the guidance of his guru. But he also creates this wonderful place for where he can go afterwards. As time goes on, the year is up. Now the ministers and the guards are now taking him. They don't even have to handcuff him. They said it's time, and he happily goes. Now they are very curious. They're like, Why are you so happy? Other people, we had to bind them. We had to take them dragging, crying and screaming. Why are you okay? Why are you at peace? And then he told them that where you're taking me isn't the jungle anymore. It isn't imminent death. It isn't uncertainty of the fact of when I'll die or how I'll die. There is no fear because I there have established a kingdom that is prosperous and full of joy. And this is what we need to learn. This is what Maa has done for us. Maa has given us that need of Brahm Gyan, so we can follow and do what we need to do in our lives. Hence we have this thing of Guru Agya, Guru's instructions. As Guru guides us and instructs us, and we keep following, we end up creating a wonderful life. Shiva Pardeep Maharaj Ji, his Guru Samrat Ramdas Guruji, he had said to him that this kingdom of yours, it is your seva, it is your selfless service that you run it. It is important that you work for this country and that you serve them faithfully through the guidance of Brahm Gyan and through the guidance of your Guru. He went into over 59 battles and he did not lose one. Maharashtra, that's just a name of a state to you right now. Broken it down, it means great country. It means great country. Maharashtra. Why? Because everyone in that kingdom was given equality, equity, love, peace, prosperity. And he worked tirelessly for it because that was his selfless seva to his Guru. But in order to do that, he had to be an individual of strong character, which was cultivated through the supreme guidance of their Guru. So he could go out and give that power to the world. So people could solve their lives. Because if you pay attention to this story that I've told you, now any other king that now comes into this kingdom will not die in that jungle. He will now have a wonderful future to look forward to. That is what Maa is doing when she's cultivating her sannyasis. कि तुम्हारा दिया कुछ हमें भी मिला है, सृजन मोर्चे सृजन यज्ञ में हम इसे झोंक देंगे. That there is something of yours that you have given to us. What is that? It's not a piece of gold. It's not a piece of stamp paper that said you'll be able to govern over this land. What is it that she has given us? The strength of divine love, the strength of Maa Shakti, the strength of knowing your own character to be able to stand in the world. They say the most dangerous man in the world is an honest man. And honesty is the rarest trait throughout our world because somewhere we either lie to ourselves or we lie to others. Maa has taken us through really, really strenuous, tenacious tasks of getting us to accept the truth of ourselves. The truth of what we were before, what we've done in these past lives that have brought us to here. The truth of what we are now and the truth of what we can become. Tirelessly worked on creating us and changing us to ensure that we discover that true divinity within. So we can then go and give it to Him. सृजन यज्ञ में इसे झोंक देंगे. Our body, our mind, our soul, everything that is hers, that Shakti that she has given us, that power she has given us, that power of love. The power of love changes this world. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. When you smile at someone, when you speak to someone gently, no matter how angry they are, you change completely the vibration and you change the conversation. That is powerful. That excitement and happiness that you feel when you see a sportsman or a sprinter go past the finish line, you see that the effort of all those years has paid off. When you see when someone is pain and someone takes a little bit of time to help them, you feel faith in humanity. That's what we've lost. Maa has given us back to us. It would be very easy for us sannyasis, for that anand, that peace that we have taken, for us to sit in hours and hours of meditation and to never wake up and to never go into this world. Because Swami Vivekananda had said the same thing, said to his Guru Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa Ji, that this divinity, this Anand that you've given me, this peace, this Tirtha that you've given me, it is so wondrous, I want to stay in it forever. Ramakrishna Paramahansa Ji said, I did not give this to you so you could just sit back and enjoy it. You must go out and give it to the world. The world needs peace. The world needs strength. The world needs love. I have given you this and you must go and give it to the world. So from Bharat he went to America, but he went in circumstances where there was a widowed mother at home, where he had 2 young brothers, there was no food to eat. But he stepped out into the world to help humanity. He didn't just think, oh, there's my family suffering, I just need to help them. He broadened his scope through the guidance of his Guru, that this whole world is my family and I will serve them faithfully so they can find peace and happiness and prosperity. You, day and day, if you ever do a little bit of analysis on this, when you give to others selflessly, when you give charity selflessly, when you show love, when you do any random act of kindness, you feel good about yourself. You feel strength. You feel good. That is your soul. That's your soul right there. Ma connected that to us, practically realized that to us, shown us within. That each and every day I can go in and realize that this is my soul. I can differentiate my soul from my patterns of trauma, from my patterns of karam sanskar, from things that are standing in the way. I can now see from dark to light. And I also, now she's given us that power, that strength, that now that you can see what's right and wrong, what's dark and light, that you can start removing that darkness from within yourself. As they say, if there's an orange and you squeeze it, only orange juice will come out, right? If within you there is peace, there is love, there is happiness, there is strength, then no matter how much you are squeezed, because these saints of time, they were squeezed to the end. Kabir Das Ji was put in front of a mental elephant. He was thrown with stones and weights shackled to him into the oceans. He was thrown off cliffs. Why? Because he told humanity, do you know that God can be seen and it is your right to see God? It is your right to know who you are. It is right for you to know that you are not just this body, you are that soul, you are that spirit. In today's modern age, everyone is standing here and going, no, Maa Shakti, there's people are standing against. People are standing against. Why? Because how dare you turn around and tell humanity that they can be saved? How dare you turn around and tell humanity that they can save themselves? How dare you tell humanity that they have the power to change their lives and change the lives of others? How dare you give them that strength? This is what people are fighting against. So when we talk about Atma Jagriti that Ma has given us through Brahm Gyan, you are not being required. This is not a pyramid scheme. That, oh yeah, look here, this is a product, go and sell it to others. No. It is a divine technique, it is a divine practice, it's a divine lifestyle that will remove the darkness from your life and fill your life with prosperity. Because the truth of life is difficulties and obstacles will come. They will always come. But what we all need is a guru that will make us so strong. Make us realize the inner strength that they have provided us with, the love they have provided us with. That no matter what, we can go into this world. Not only can we save ourselves through the guidance of Guru, that Guru wants us to go out and give everyone that strength so that they can save themselves. Someone here, Maa Shakti, that Shakti is offering you supreme freedom. The price you need to pay is just to realize who you are. That is the best and the cheapest and the best value transaction you are ever going to get. As they say, Ye tan vish ki belari, गुरु अमृत की खान, शीश दिए जो गुरु मिले तो भी सस्ता जान. That this body is full of poison. It is. It is stuck and tied. We know this. It is only pain. When in fact this body is meant to be a vehicle. However, we spend so much time taking care of it, we don't live. It needs 8 to 10 hours to sleep. It needs to eat 5 times a day. It needs 2.8 grams of protein per pound to ensure that you've got muscle mass. There's all these different things and rules. You need to eat this, you need to sleep this much, you need to speak this much, you need to do this much. You spend all your time in there, you never live. It's a sadhan, it is meant to be a medium. You buy a car, you maintain it as much as you need to so you can use it. Your whole life doesn't become the car, whole life became this body, this poison which has dragged us down. Guru Amrit ki Khan, that Guru is this endless, vast ocean of divinity, of that divine holy nectar that purifies us, that brings us peace. You know, when we are burning, we're in a hot climate and we're so thirsty, when we get that first sip of cool water, it cools us down and makes us feel peace. That's the best way I can describe it at this point. And they said, even if you have to give your head, it is still the cheapest and the most best value transaction you can do. It's the best thing you can do. And that has been our practical realization in our lives. And regarding Maa's Samadhi, the truth of it, the rahas of it, of the whole Supreme Universe, Maa's not hidden it from anyone. She has said, take Brahm Gyan, start realizing who you are, go into the depths and practically realize nothing is hidden from you. Maa has unveiled the truth time and time again. In order for us to practically realize this, we need to be curious. We need to ask questions. And we definitely need to move towards Brahm Gyan. Because that is that one technique which helps you, which is the only technique through which you can connect with that supreme consciousness, with that divine, with that holy Maa. And then you will know that whose graces we sing about, who we say she has transformed our lives, that leaving the UK was nothing for us so that we could give our lives. For those individuals that couldn't stay without luxury, could sleep anywhere in the world, be it on the street or be it in a palace, it makes no difference. Guru has changed everything for us and made us free of our daily desires. That Guru can do the same for you and wants to do the same for you. So that humanity can be saved, she's taken this samadhi. And the truth of this you can realize is through Brahm Gyan. So we urge you to think about it, do chintan, ask those questions, and keep moving forward. And through these spiritual discourses, we will keep bringing you more and more information of the lives we've lived, the practical experiences that we've had. And we want that you can be on that thing, yeah? So that you can say, I have seen it for myself. That it's not just words you've heard from us. We want you to practically realize that peace.
Thank you for watching, and for those who are interested,
So
this
with
live
those words,
webcast happens every Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. UK time.
Thank you for
And anybody who wishes to attend, please message, comment on this video, and we will give you details about those live webcasts. Again, thank you for listening.